Hello, welcome to Inspiration Daily for November 21st, 2021. I'm your host, Gina Greenlee of GinaGreenlee.com, and today's inspiration, portable water pick flossing. Oh yeah, this water pick flossing was a game changer. No, I'm not selling it. I don't get any advertising kickbacks. I'm a chick in my living room making these, sharing for the next year on a daily basis from October 5th, 2021 to November 5th, 2020. I'm sorry, to October 5th, 2022. What inspires me? I had Western medicine is can be nice, has its place. It's very aggressive, and it's very we don't have a healthcare system in the United States. We have a sick care system, and until the participants in that system are incented to keep people well and not push pills, surgeries, and procedures, because that's where the financial incentives are now. That's baked into the system. Um, True partnership and prevention will forever elude us here in the United States. And those who will survive me, because I am not going to live forever, and neither are you. But at this moment in time, when we're both alive, my teeth, I accept responsibility for as a very young person, doing a lot of damage to my own teeth because of sugar abuse. And there's a whole bunch of reasons behind that, but those would not be particularly inspiring. But to keep myself on track, for many years, I didn't eat a lot of fresh vegetables. Believe it or not, I was a vegan for 20 years, and then a vegetarian for 20 years, ovo-lacto, and then I was a vegan for 3 of those years, and then I started eating fish again, and pretty much eat fish and chicken, and occasionally eat some red meat. But that was after almost 25 years of vegetarianism, and believe it or not, during that time, I didn't eat a lot of fresh vegetables. You can be a vegetarian and eat a lot of pasta and starch and all that kind of stuff. Running around, going to college, going to graduate school, building a career, then changing careers, moving, and when you eat salad and fresh vegetables, that gets all stuck in your teeth. You know how you eat spinach? Somebody says, "Is this spinach in my teeth? Is this spinach in my teeth?" And I guess it was about 10 years ago when I was getting I went to the dentist office. I didn't see the dentist that particular time. It was for the hygiene regime every 6 months. And a dental hygienist said something to me. And so maybe this inspiration daily is not about this water flosser. It's really about the dental hygienist. I'm going to give a shout out to the dental hygienist, because this woman really inspired me to change my life. This is a byproduct of her inspiration. So they're educators, which wraps into my context at the top of this recording about the United States sick care system, because that's what it's all about: looking for disease and not trying to prevent disease. That's the incentives are about treating disease, pharmaceutical, surgery, procedures. So if I don't have to be cut, I pharmacy, pharmaceuticals and knives, those are the last options. Let's be talking about what I could be doing on a daily basis to prevent that. But again, there's no financial incentive there, and there probably won't be until long after I'm gone. So fortunately enough for me, I've been practicing prevention for 60 years. And the reason why I have this hat on and I don't have my hair and my makeup is because I'm getting ready to go for a walk. Speaking of prevention, I'll go for my 90-minute walk in the morning. So, and it is today, Sunday morning, November 21st. So anyway, let me get back to this. So actually, my inspiration is the dental hygienist, and this is what her inspiration. She said the inspiration for me. She says, do you floss? They ask you all the time. They ask me for years. You floss? Yeah, I floss. Okay. It's obviously not good enough for the dentist. But, you do, you floss. And I do floss. Because I remember being in another dentist's office when I was living in Connecticut, and there was a poster right in front of the patient chair, and the wall opposite the patient chair, and it said, you don't have to floss all of your teeth, just the ones you want to keep. And that made an impression. I had always been flossing. Anyway, that was something that I did grow up with. My father was big on that. But, I have to admit, I wasn't overly, diligent about it. And particularly here in the lower teeth, oh, my teeth do look pretty now that I had all those silver fillings from decades ago removed. In the cradle there where your tongue is and saliva pools, that's where most people tend to have a lot of plaque buildup. So she's digging around in there and she says to me, do you floss? Yeah, I've been answering the same question for, yes, I do floss. And she said, well, she says, and she asked me, and I said, she asked me what I use, and I said, I don't use that string floss anymore. I use those plackers because the plackers help, it gives you more control, and it helps you get in there. And, I'm thinking I'm doing this great thing. And she says to me, she says, that's great. She says, but have you tried water flossing? Have you tried a Water Pik? And I said, well, no, she didn't say water flossing. I think she said Water Pik, or I don't know, but I said, no. And then she said to me, well, she says, she said something to me that totally rocked my world. This is the crux of the inspiration at minute almost 8, but whatever. I'll put the main point in the transcript box. She said, the pressure of the water really, she says, you can only do so much with the manual flossing, right? With the thread flossing, whether it's plackers or, she says, the pressure of the water, and she says you can adjust the pressure, will pummel food material that's stuck underneath the gum line. She says, because now she's talking about, gum disease, which is something that is more prevalent as people age. And she says, you can get between the teeth or whatever, but you cannot get under the gum line. She says, we can do that with our tools. She says, but with the water, the pressure from the water and the water flosser will just, get at places that you can't get at. And it's, and she says, so you might want to try that. And she goes, and I said, you know what? I didn't understand that because nobody ever explained that to me. I thought, because I remember they used to call it water massage or massage pick or something like that. I'm like, I'm not paying for a machine to massage my teeth. What is that? Massage my teeth every time I eat something. So it was the language that she used, but it was the education that she used that helped me to understand that, I could do this all day long with a placker, but there's just stuff underneath the gum line that, the longer we've been on the planet, the more accumulation we're going to have of, unfortunately, these forever chemicals and other things. So we have to take even that much better care of ourselves. I didn't understand that this was actually another form of flossing using water pressure. And when she explained that to me, I was like, oh, I get that. I went right to Wally World and I picked up one. I don't know. I thought I only paid $60-something for it, but that was a number of years ago, and that was a game changer. You can have a salad, right? You eat salad, fresh salad, and there's spinach and lettuce and tomatoes and onions. I mean, it's fiber and it's great for you, but it's all in your teeth, you know. And unfortunately, you know, you're having lunch. You know, if I remember being a young woman and being in the corporate world, and then you know you're having lunch, and you know all this stuff in your teeth. It's like, you know, you got to go to the next meeting. So I remember eating, you know, setting up my water flosser, which wasn't like this one. I just got this. This was a new one because my other one died because I didn't take really good care of it. I did some stuff, like I never emptied the water, so it did too. Another story for another time. Then I put salt water in there, started making my own little potions, and I didn't dry it, you know, on a regular basis, and the thing just disintegrated. But I still had it. God, I think I've had it for several years. So I just recently bought this one. But I remember the first time I used it, and oh my God, I blew enough lettuce, tomato, onion, enough food out of my teeth to make another salad. Now I know that sounds disgusting, and I kind of meant it to, because if there was enough leftover food material to make a whole nother meal, that means if I hadn't used my water flosser, that'd still be up under my gums and in my teeth. And then what I started doing was, I'd do that just to kind of, you know, get the first rinse, and then I would floss, and then I go back again, and it would really, I mean, and my mind was blown. I was like, oh my God, I've been walking around with all this stuff in my teeth. No wonder I've been struggling with my teeth. You know, well, that's not really the truth. It's sugar abuse. I have to be honest about that. And that's like another story for another time, about what's inspiring me to try to deal with my sugar stuff. So shout out to the dental hygienist, man. So here, I'm not selling this, but this is what this is: a Water Pik water flosser. And I was like, okay, this was $55. I'm like, really? But the other one I had, it was stationary, and it was like a big contraption. And so this one, the only thing the little water well, you only get like about 30 seconds, you know, and I like to kind of, it does feel good, so I like to kind of be in there for more, like a minute. So you have to refill it a couple times. But I have to say that it took me a while because you have to lift the whole thing to do your teeth, whereas the stationary one, you have a hose, and it's a little easier. But I got used to it, and I have to say, I can't do it now because you have to be over the sink. I've gotten used to it. I've had it for about I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I like it. So thank you to that dental hygienist who changed everything for me, because I really do love fresh vegetables and salads, you know, really lovely, you know, dark green salads, and I've been eating them regularly since getting that incredible advice. And so I know what happened was, so here's the key, here's the measurement. There's a what do you call it, a coach that I'm connected to on LinkedIn, and she said something in a post. She says, you know, what is measured, what is measured can be moved. Yeah. So the measurement was, so I had gone to the doctor. Oh my God, this thing is 14 minutes long. Well, it's just gonna have to be 14 minutes long. The dentist, and my gums were starting to recede. I started to have problems, and that was because I had just gotten really lazy with my dental hygiene. I just, you know, I would eat, and then I would just like pass out and go to sleep, and I wouldn't bother to get up and deal with my teeth. And I really just realized that I like my teeth, and I have awe And I do mean all of my original teeth. There's no extractions, there's no bridges, there's no implants. Oh, hell no. Look at that. Look at these teeth. Nice. So, a lot of money for these teeth. So, and I realized it was just my own. I was just being lax. And he said, she says you're starting to have evidence of gum disease, and I was like, okay, Gina, you need to get yourself together. So when I first of all, none of that eating and then going to bed, and sleeping and not dealing with my teeth, going to bed with a dirty mouth, frankly, and then I just started drinking a lot of water, just keeping my mouth clean, brushing my teeth. I brought a toothbrush with me, and I would brush my teeth throughout the day because I had never done that. I'd brush in the morning or brush at night, maybe. And then I started using this thing. And so they measure, they have this tool, poke your gums, and they don't want, whatever the measurement is, it's like from 1 to 4, and 4 is like, your gums are like rubber bands and your teeth are going to fly out, and 1 is really good. You don't want any, you don't really want to have more than 1, or the measurement of 1 or 2. And so she was like 4, 4, 4. I was like, oh my God. So I came back, so I put my regimen in place, my regimen in place, everything else that I've just explained to you. And then I came back six months later, and that measurement of 4, which was the worst on a scale of 1 to 4, 1 is the best, they were all down to 1. My gums, instead of having like kind of that white, they all nice and, look at that, pink, look at that, look at these teeth, baby. And look at this mouth. So the dentist, well, he did examine. He was like, yeah, you're really on your way. You really have to make some changes. But he didn't tell me, you really have to make some changes. And then he flies out, his white coat trailing behind him. So it was his dental hygienist. I mean, I love my dentist. I've been with him for 14 years. He's a very, very good dentist. He's caring. He's competent. But Western trained physicians, they're not trained to be educators. That's not they're trained to diagnose and treat. And that's fine. That's great. So that's why, I have a health education team. Okay? Chiropractor, massage therapist, psychotherapist. Well, I used to have what do you call them? A fitness coach. I don't need that anymore. And then I got my dental hygienist, because when she's the one I talk to and say, okay, now tell me what I need to do based on what you're seeing, in these past evidence in the past 6 months. So he looks and he comes back. So I get the thing in 6 months, the exam, and he says, what was the word he used? He said, he says, I've never seen this before. He says, when I saw you 6 months ago, I was like, ooh, she's on a slippery slope. He says, whatever you've done, right? Because all he knows is that there's no disease in there to treat. He doesn't care what I've done. I have to care about what I've done between the last appointment when my gums were a hot mess, and the next appointment when they're fabulous. Okay. So, and that's fine. I have to take responsibility. My health is my responsibility. So he says, I don't know what you did. He said, but this, and the word he used was transformative. He says, I've never seen this. This man's been practicing dentistry for 30 years. He says, I've never seen this. This is transformative. And I said, amen. So, shout out to the dental hygienist. I don't remember her name because, he has, he uses an agency. So, every time I see a different woman, actually, I'm sure they're male dental hygienists, but I've never met one in my life. And this woman changed my life. One of my goals is when I leave this world, I want to leave with all my original body parts. So far, so good.